Welcome, my friends. First thing I want to talk about, just thoughts, exciting thoughts about spring training. Number one, I love how Bellinger looks. I didn't know I was going to fall in love so quick. I love how his swing looks. And of course, we got to see it in games and all of that stuff. But so far, I love how the swings look. I put out a question yesterday. What are your first thoughts or early thoughts on Yankee spring training? And some people gave obviously like over exaggerated thoughts and whatnot. Oh my God, I can't wait to look at some of these things. I'm gonna go through a Pinstripe Strong page, which by the way, if you guys are not following Pinstripe Strong, make sure you guys do. Follow Pinstripe Strong on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on everywhere. Okay, all right, so let's get on this. So I put out Giancarlo Stanton. This is just stuff that I retweeted real quick. Giancarlo Stanton dealing with high level of pain in both elbows. He has not swung a bat for 3 to 4 weeks and is unsure if he can be ready for opening day. Both elbows? What was he doing? Why are both elbows so badly hurt? Can somebody explain that to me? Listen, if you're in pain, you're in pain, you're hurt, whatever. It's about, but you know, oh my God, starting off, you know, like I said, you start off spring training with optimism and all of that stuff. He said he's sore from carrying us in October. Damn. Yeah, I mean, he did do a lot of carrying. How do you feel about Devers' position? Okay, well, I'll tell you right now. Rafael Devers, if you guys do not know, there's a little bit of drama in Boston. And I know it's like, oh, dude, what are you doing talking about Red Sox, man? Like, I thought you were Yankees fan. Yeah. Baseball and all of that stuff. And there was things where they were talking about, like, they asked Devers the question because they acquired Bregman. They said, hey, what do you think about playing DH? If they tell you to play DH, he said no. He also said that he was told that he would be a third baseman and that his position is third base. And that he talked to them and he made that known that he wants to be a third baseman. Now, the Red Sox have their analytics. Let's call a spade a spade. Devers is not a very good third baseman. He just isn't. He's not a good third baseman. He's not a good defensive third baseman. Just hasn't been, never been. It's just what it is. It's fine. He's up there for his bat. They asked him if he wanted to be a DH, what would he say? He said no. And then they asked Alex Cora, what does he think about this whole thing? And Alex Cora is like...
He said when he signed the long-term extension that you guys said that he'd be the third baseman long-term. Do you think the relationship is strained right now? He doesn't seem happy that like the team has gone back on their word. Strange between
different people here, right? There's a different leader here. So, you know, Jaime is in St. Louis right now.
There's two sides to that coin. He's saying that there's different people here, and Devers is upset because he was made promises that he was going to be the third baseman of the future here, especially when he signed here long term. Alex Cora is saying there's different people here. So this is his version of it's above me. You know, like, if they want to put you somewhere else, Devers, because they feel that the team would be better if we put you somewhere else and put Bregman at third, he's obviously defensively elite, then you know what? He's saying it's above me. Those promises were made to you by somebody else. Now, this is why a lot of people like to deal with ownership, and this is why Judge dealt with his promises and stuff like that from the ownership versus from the GM. That's what happened there. I'm so excited for spring training, dog. Am I the only one, man? I think every single fan of every single fan base should be excited for spring training. The fun things that I like to see from spring and everything is, of course, the interviews. I love seeing, you know, people talk about their team, about, you know, past people, whatever it is. I love seeing at bats. Like this butte yesterday from our guy, the Martian. Look at this. Woo! Listen, guys. Listen. I need you guys to understand something right now. I feel like there's almost been like a disrespect to Jason Dominguez. He's coming back from injury, doing all of those things, and there's a lot of unstable situation with him. And then now, people are looking at him as like, he's not. Listen, and last year, I did not like the narrative that was being created about him only hitting lefty and not hitting him righty. Like, oh, well, only platoon. Like, I didn't like that at all. And I feel like nowadays, switch hitting is like discouraged And it shouldn't be. It should be encouraged, because I think that people that do that, like people that have obviously that skill, are worth more or worth double to me, because they can be able to, hit from both sides and all of that stuff. And Jason Dominguez is a guy that can hit not only for average, but for power from the right side as well as from the left side. So hopefully that, we can be able to do that, and that wouldn't be a problem. So I'm very excited for Jason Dominguez coming into this year because of that. What else got me excited so far for this spring training? Jazz Chisholm is coming with a comfortable swag. I feel like he's very comfortable in his skin now. He's coming into the spring. He just knows what's going on. The gang is ready, and I love it. I love how he's moving, guys. Just my guy Freed over here just throwing. We like these things, right? We do. On a serious note, what's up with Wells? That's a great question. Guys, what is going on with Austin Wells? They said that he has not swung a bat, and because of I feel like this is another situation of where the Yankees just start hiding stuff. They just start hiding things about stuff. This is Devin Williams without a beard. Looks... Made me make a 180 on the whole Yankee beard stuff. So the whole Austin Wells thing is weird. Austin Wells says that, and the Yankees also say that he's not going to be hitting or swinging the bat for a while. To control the load and to manage the load. Guys, hold on a second here. Like, what's really going on? If he hasn't now, the World Series was back in, November, right? What are we talking about here? Austin Wells is 25 years old. According to Baseball Reference, he's 25 years old and 221 days. What's really happening here? Do we have any updated articles on that? Because I have no idea what is going on with Austin Wells. And the wording around what they don't want to do with him is super freaking weird, bro. I honestly don't know. And it's to the point that it's worrisome, because it feels like he's trying to deal, like he's recovering from an injury. Did he have an injury? Is this one of those situations where the Yankees are just like, oh, we're just hiding, that he has an injury? Because they like to do that. You guys know that he likes to do that. As a Yankee fan, I don't know if this lineup is good enough. I think this lineup can be deeper than what it was last year. I think the bullpen's better than last year. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think the starting pitching is better than last year. I think that pitching-wise, this team is deeper than what it was last year. I do think that, and Ben Rice was wearing his catcher's gear. He's looking yoked up, too. Looking good. I think that he might be a factor at catcher if Wells can't go. I don't know. We need to wait and see. Let's take a wait-and-see approach with Wells. If we're here next week and there's no update on the situation and it's still the same exact thing, then we'll talk about it. For now, let's pin it. This is another thing, bro, about this year. And yeah, we lost Soto, and that sucks. I would have loved to have Soto back. Having Judge at right field again feels right. Defensively, how everything looks, like, it just feels way better, having him out there. So very excited for that. Yo, I swear to God, people wrote this guy off too early, like too easy last year. Oh, he can't defend. He can't hit right-handed. He can't hit left-handed pitching. He can't bat righty. Like, it was the weirdest, like, I don't know why those narratives were happening last year, bro. Like, it was the weirdest thing ever. This is Judge talking about how this team is hungrier because of what happened last year.
Last year, you came in here and said this team had a bit of an edge to it, wanting to get to the World Series and win a World Series. After the way last year ended, how would you describe the motivation of this team this year coming in?
Definitely coming in hungry, if not hungrier than, years past, especially going from 23 into last season, not making the postseason. That's a tough one to swallow there. And, guys were motivated, guys showed up early, they put in the work. And I think, getting to the dance and losing out on it definitely is a lot worse than not even getting in. So guys are motivated, guys are ready to go. So, definitely some great energy so far. It's only been a couple days, but guys are ready to get back to work and get us back in that spot and rewrite the script.
Let me see some questions here, because people have been writing questions. I don't want you guys feeling like I'm ignoring you in any way. Thoughts on Strowman? The thing with Strowman, this spring training, I didn't understand a couple of things. Listen, I get it. He's upset about the whole pitching thing and all of that stuff. That's fine. You could be upset and all of that. What I didn't understand is, like, it felt like people were trying to easily paint him as the bad guy, like real easy. He didn't report. See, when I first read the report about that he didn't report to spring training, I thought there was a mandatory time that he didn't report to spring. However, according to the CBA, he has to report mandatorily by the 22nd. Now, pitchers and catchers report, yes, to try to give themselves time to get ready. What people don't understand is that Marcus Stroman was also dealing with some different stuff. He's dealing with, his home that burned down in the fires in Cali. He dealt with that. He dealt with different things with family. The Yankees actually told him, hey, take your time, whatever it is. And the fact that some people were still trying to spin the narrative was so weird to me. It just, I don't like feeling like there's a witch hunt for players. I don't like that. I never like that. I always root for my own players, always. So I'm never going to boo my own team. Like, that never happens. And, he has a house in Tampa, but he had a house and he has to make sure with stuff with family and all of that stuff. And then there was also trade rumors all around. So probably trying to set ducks in a row in case it happens. Like, there's a lot of things. And he talked to the Yankees first about it. I don't understand why people were being weird. So it was so strange to see that. So I thought that he was unfairly being targeted, but he's at camp. He would try to make it seem like they also try to take Cashman's quote out of context. When they asked Brian Cashman, oh, how do you feel about Strowman? And he said this, that he's a starter, he's not pitching out of the pen. Cashman, they only took the quote of him saying, oh, that's vintage Stro. But if you read that and take that at face value, it's kind of make it seem like, oh, that's vintage Strowman, like being insubordinate or being a troublemaker. Like, he said, the way that Cashman said it was in a different light. He said that's vintage Stro. He's a competitor. He's going to want to be out there. I want him to want the starting spot, stuff like that. That's what Cashman was saying. If you read it, the narrative is different. Like, I don't like that, bro. I don't like it when people do that. That shit is so misleading in media. I don't like that. Do you think that the Yankees will seek a third baseman like Arenado? They should. Tucker, Murakami, or Vladdy, who will the Yankees land? I think that they'll look to land Tucker and Murakami. They'll look to land both, which is why they don't want to get constrained to anybody in specific this offseason. Predictions on Jazz this year. My predictions on Jazz this year, I think he's gonna play really well for the New York Yankees. I think he's going to have a very big year for the Yanks. I think he's going to be at second base. I think he's going to be a lot more comfortable there. Not that I'm saying that he wasn't comfortable at third, but he's going to be really good at second base. Like, very athletic. That athleticism that you see at third base, I think you'll see it even more at second with him getting to balls or big plays and double plays and stuff like that. I think we'll see some really special things out of Jazz this year. No way Don Smith can be option for the New York Yankees, can be an option for the New York Yankees in 2025. It depends. It all depends on injuries and what's happening. Who do you see as a realistic trade target at third for the Yankees? Arenado. Enough with the facial hair nonsense. Let the players be them. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like over it. But Yankees are going to set their rules and what they want to do with that stuff. So that's just what it is. I just wonder if a player like Ohtani, right? He said that he wanted to come over. He said he only come over if he can grow a beard. Would they make the exception? I doubt it. Even though Ohtani doesn't grow a beard.
It's exciting. You had a lot of different pieces that have come in. We start with Bellinger, a guy that can play 3, 4, 5, 6 different positions for us, play all over the field. You got a guy like Goldschmidt, who's
don't sleep on Tampa. I'm sleeping on Tampa.
Hitters in the game for the past 10 years. It's been impressive to watch. He's going to bring different side of the game to us at first base. He's a guy that can run the base as well. Having Jazz do his thing, another year of Jazz, who's been so dynamic for us and explosive. It's going to be exciting.
Over 100 games played for Giancarlo.
Some new arms, especially with Max Fried, a guy that I faced for quite a few years, and I'm glad he's in pinstripes now. But I'm excited about the lineup. I don't know how it's all going to work out, who's going to bat where and all that, but just up and down this lineup, we got guys who are going to have good at-bats, quality at-bats, guys that can steal bases, get on base, and a lot of guys that can leave the park.
I like that. I like this. Judge is talking about the roster. Max Fried, I think, is going to be really good for the Yankees. And the fact that Matt Blake said he feels like there's more to unlock with Max Fried, I think that is very exciting. If you're a Yankee fan, you should be very excited about that. Do you think that Soto never wanted to be a Yankee? That's how it felt at the presser. I think he enjoyed being a Yankee. I just think that he got courted by the Mets a lot better. And he was paid big time, like big time paid. Surprising player to make the team. I don't. Surprising player like who? Like Peraza? Peraza would surprise me, but I think that he would probably be the guy. Like if he had a crazy, I don't even know how he makes it at third. Now let's see Cody Bellinger speaking for the first time as a Yank. Yo, he looks like such a Yankee, bro. He does. He looks like such a Yankee.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, wherever they seem fit, wherever they think is the best possibility for the lineup to be the most fluid or the most consistent, whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Doesn't matter to me, but, you know, Judge is one of the best players in the game. He's consistent, he's powerful, he's dangerous, and so the guys around him, you benefit from him just because of how spectacular of a player he is.
Bellinger. You know how much I've been saying Bellinger as a Yankee, yeah? Is that thoughts of Fernando Cruz? He's another guy that I think he's going to unlock a next level with Matt Blake. So we'll see a lot more control with him. He already has a strikeout number, so I think he'll be awesome. What happens if Judge goes down? Real question. I mean, it might be GG's, bro. That ass. It's just being real. It would be nice if Volpe can look like a hitter this year. You know what? He showed me something in the playoffs. He did. That's why I don't want him to lead off. I know the Yankees need a leadoff hitter right now. I don't want Volpe leading off. I want him at the bottom of the lineup right now. I just feel like he gets too much in his head, bro. He just does. The third base situation is the number one question, right? Like, what's going to happen with the Yankees at third base? How bad is the Giancarlo injury? That's the other thing. Like 2 elbows, what's up with Austin Wells? That's another thing. Those are, I think, are the 3 major questions so far. I haven't seen anything else that would concern me yet. The Yankees like to hold a lot of stuff, you know, close to the sleeve and all of that stuff. They don't like to really talk too much about it, you know, until they absolutely have to. We'll see what they do there with those things. What do you think is the best batting order? I think that the Yankees now this is not too much of a popular lineup thing, but I just like it lefty righty wise. If you could be able to put, he doesn't get on base enough, right? But if you would have Jazz and then Judge, maybe he would get a lot more pitches to hit. Maybe he would walk more. Yeah, Jazz at leadoff and then Judge and then Bellinger and then Giancarlo and then Goldschmidt, you know. I don't like the Martian leading off to start off the year. I like him and Volpe toward the bottom of the lineup to start out the year. I'm telling you, there's a lot of pressure with starting out the year with like that kind of pressure. You know what I mean? I don't like that, and I don't want that for them. I do think that if I wanted one of the two to be lead off, whether it's Volpe or Jason Dominguez, who would I want to be at lead off? I kind of like Jason Dominguez because he has that power threat from both sides and he's switch hitting. Steve LeMahieu said he took 2 months off and did not swing a bat and then is looking to, like, he felt like it's the longest time he ever took off after a season, and he wanted to give his body, you know, time to recover. So I'm glad he did. Gave his body the time to recover. I guess we'll see, man. We will see if it's gonna be good or not. Look at this. Jazz, baby. I mean, look at that Gear 5 Luffy chain, bro. Whoo! You know me. Anybody that knows me knows I love One Piece. And seeing this is like goated. Love having a kid like Jazz for our clubhouse. Me too, Skill Issue. Is Jazz playing third or second? I think he needs to play second because Cashman came out publicly when they were talking about the Glaber situation a couple days ago. They said that they first traded Jazz and they envisioned Jazz as the second baseman. And they felt like Jazz can take to the position and do it really well. You and Jazz got to do some anime content in the office. It would be great. I'm going to try to see if I could catch him. I'll ask him. All right, how about this? I'll have some One Piece questions prepared for Jazz in case I see him at spring training. How about that? Like if I see him out there, I'll have some questions for him. How are we feeling about Rodon? I'm feeling good about Rodon. Listen, people don't understand that the Yankees last year went according to how Rodon was pitching. For a while, he was the one that was carrying. Carlos Rodon was the one that was carrying. Gerrit Cole was out. And Gerrit Cole was also trying to build himself back up. He wasn't the same guy. So then you had Carlos Rodon, who was kind of taking on the brunt of all that and being a de facto ace for a little while until Gerrit Cole was ready. And to be honest, when the Yankees were playing well, it was because Rodon was pitching well. And when they were playing bad, it was because he was pitching bad. Thoughts on the new MLB The Show 25 editions? Personally, I think it's going to be insane. I'm very excited for that. We're going to be doing an MLB The Show stream, overnight stream from the moment that it comes out. It's going to be me, Jake, Shelfie, and we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing a weekly Road to the Show on the JM Gaming channel. You know, Road to the Show has a lot of improvements. So I'll be creating a player on there and we'll be going through that. We'll see if we bring back the Dominican Otani, or we'll call this guy Fulano. Maybe, I don't know, we'll figure something out, something funny. Hey, Joe's not sure why I'm high on Goldie, because he's a professional hitter. He doesn't have to be the guy. He can come over here, he can just be himself and let himself play with and just perform. Apart from the Dodgers, the biggest threat to the Yankees. Well, in the AL, the biggest threat to the Yankees is the Red Sox. The Red Sox are really good this year. I feel like Baltimore took a step back. They still got some young kids there. But I feel like they took a step back and they lost Santander. I don't trust the Blue Jays at all. I think it's going to be Yankees, Red Sox all year, which is good for baseball. The Rangers, I think, are going to make a big, like a comeback. You know, I think the Grom's back, right? Like, I think their team's going to be insane. The Tigers have the ability to be pesky, but I don't consider them a threat, right? And I don't see the Astros as, I think the Astros have gotten worse. I think losing Bregman was bad. I'm trying to look around the league. To be honest, a lot of people left from the AL and they went NL. Like, a lot of really good players went from the AL to NL. NL is going to be a gauntlet, bro. Guardians are pesky. I'm talking about a threat to the Yankees. I don't believe in any central team. That's just what it's been. The Seattle Mariners are probably the most disappointing team this whole offseason. They did nothing. Nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They stink. Royals are another team that could be good. The Phillies also did nothing. The Phillies were also good, though. It's one thing if you're good and you did nothing versus if you are trash and you did absolutely nothing and stood trash. The fact that you have Julio Rodriguez, and he also needs to play well, but the fact that you have Julio Rodriguez during this time where he's young and you're not trying to put more players around him is bad. Who's your sneaky Yankees pick for a big year? Sneaky? You mean somebody you don't expect? Clark Schmidt? I kind of expect him, but Clark Schmidt, I expect him to take yet another level. And that's it. That's kind of like all the news we got Yankees-wise, right? Have I missed anything? Well, thank you guys so much. You guys are on YouTube. Make sure you guys click the like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll do more of these updates. I'll see if anything comes up like news-wise. Just follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll do like one-off videos and like little reels or whatever. If anything that warrants a long conversation or whatever, then I'll probably do something on stream and put it up on YouTube the next day. For that, we'll do this. Thank you for joining my conversation. See you guys later.